When I was 7 years old, we lived out in Yucaipa, which was country, about 75 miles east of LA. I stole a horse. Well, I watched Roy Rogers and Gene Autry and all of them. They were my idols. And I knew what the bad guys did. And the bad guys said, nobody's going to pin anything on me. Well, I sat up and I said, nobody's going to pin any horse thievery on me. In life, I dreamed about having a ranch. And through all my careers, and I was in real estate and construction and contracting, all of this time I had horses. Never ever was without horses and dogs. So around about 1970, I traveled to Oregon to look for a ranch. This is where everybody was going from California, was to Oregon, who wanted to move out to the country. Supposedly what I'd done was retired and to have this leisurely ranch. Well, I woke up one morning, and on a June morning, 10 o'clock in the morning in Tumalo, I went outside. In Tumalo, it can and does freeze any night or day of the year. And all the irrigation pipes were in the midst of sprinkling, frozen shut. All of the streams of water were just these big arcs, frozen. And I started crying. I'm like, I'm working too hard. I was 46, and I said, this is too hard. I'm not having fun anymore. So we sold the ranch. I retired again, and I went to Oregon State University. I became a student. Well, I walked away from the ranch and didn't look back. Went to law school for a couple of years at U of O when I was 59. I gave my car to my kids, moved to downtown Portland, and I started internet dating. And that was really fun. And then I met Howard in 2002, and I moved out here with him. We raised animals for ourselves, but we never had any idea about doing a commercial thing. And one day, Howard just said, I am so tired of mowing. I said, why don't we just get a couple of sheep and put them out there? Sheep aren't any problem. So I ended up deciding on Dorpers, which is a breed developed in South Africa in the 50s. Hair sheep, white with black heads and necks, a very distinctive droopy ears, a big Roman nose. The rams get big wrinkles over their nose. The Dorpers consistently, from the data that I've gathered, have a larger loin eye than any other breed that is their size when they're measured. If they've got a good loin eye, everything else is going to be good. And the loin eye is the equivalent of a filet mignon on a beef. There's other sheep that get bigger, 200 or 300 pounds, and they'll have a bigger loin eye, but you have huge cuts of meat. To have a whole leg of lamb, you're going to have to cut that leg into pieces that are practical for a family of 4 or 2 or 1, like at my markets, I mean 1 or 2. With the Dorper, I can raise a Dorper to 5 or 6 months of age for 100 to 100 and 125 pounds, and I haven't had to deal with a huge sheep. I haven't had to deal with a huge appetite from a huge sheep. I haven't had to handle a huge sheep, and I have marketable size cuts of meat without any custom type carving up. Hair sheep have about 75% less lanolin in their hair than wool sheep. And lanolin, you can just take lanolin out of the wool and you can smell it and taste it, and it's strong. So it makes sense to me that that strong flavor that we usually are stronger, not always strong, flavor that we usually associate with lamb is from that wool. So I attribute the mildness, the delicate flavor of our lamb to less lanolin, to the hair. That's where I believe we are set apart. With our lamb, the grass, having the grass pastures, the stress that, the lack of stress that they have being out in the open like they were meant to be. It's a lot different at a commercial feedlot. I didn't really know what to expect at the farmer's market, and I really didn't know what to do at the farmer's market. But when I got there, I developed this spiel. Do you know that our lambs are born and raised a few minutes from this market in the city of Portland? And it's like, I mean, shock and awe. Really, the people are shocked, awed, and then the expression of delight. I'm having a lot of fun meeting wonderful people. A couple of weeks ago, a lady came around and she was very skeptical and pessimistic, negative about the lamb. And I said, you know, she didn't want to buy any. She just was afraid to buy any. She just knew that it wouldn't be any good. And I said, you know, I have a little package here. And I said, I want you to take this and try it and just see, you know, you come back and you let me know. She came back. That woman's face just was radiating light. She was so happy. She said, that is the best lamb I have ever eaten. I'll tell you what, having those people come back to me, I mean, people, you know, I give a money back guarantee, 100% unconditional. You're satisfied, or you come back and tell me, and I'll just give you your money back. I won't sell you any more lamb, but I will give your money back. And I have not had anybody come back. And people do come back to me and rave about the lamb all the time. I have not had one complaint. And that is the best affirmation that I could ever wish for. Be surprised to know I'm a weightlifter. I've been a weightlifter since 1984, and before we got so busy with the sheep, I could do, how many, 130 push-ups in sets. I would do like 25, and then I would row for 10 minutes, 25 more, row, and then I would do 20 minutes of stretching. Yeah.